Have I been successful? Let's see here. Looks like I am. Okay, so hi. I tried to do something this different this time. I tried to make it so I could see on, oh, there I am. Good. It's a little bit behind, so I'll have to turn the volume down just a little bit. Over here. I made it so I could see myself, so I can actually interact with comments. So that's it for the wishy-washiness. I am going to paint tonight. We're going to paint these flowers, and I'll give you a good quick see. I'm Kara Grandlin. I'm in Oregon, and we are coming out of the gloomy, bad weather. So I want you to take a little look. Actually, let's see, lift it up. So I made a little bit of a still life out of these beauties. And I know, okay, so there's the vase with all the little detail on it. And look at the little paper white in there and all of that. And I'm looking forward to getting into those textures. And oh, I wish you could smell it with me. It's so beautiful. It's a Sunday night, and I'm an aspiring painter. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not a master by any means, and I'm a novelist actually, but I have figured out that I really enjoy all levels of creativity, and I've spent the last couple of days doing the art of gardening out there, and making this bouquet was just another one of those things. It's just got its own art to it. It's like painting with flower color. Do you guys know what I mean? Are any of you guys gardeners? And you have to talk to me and see if if it shows up in here, because last time I missed so many comments because I was sad about it. So hopefully you have something warm to drink, and maybe you got your own knitting or doodling or, you know, mindless scrolling, whatever. I got these to go with it. These are faux pearls from the 1980s. One of the other little things I like to do is I'm a eBay reseller, and my niche is costume jewelry that has collectible brand names on it. Like, yeah, this is what I wore this morning, and these are just fake as fake gets, but my granddaughter actually loves to look at my jewelry every time I wear it, so it makes me even more inspired to wear it. And the one thing I think is that some of this old jewelry, and just like the pottery, this little butterfly on here, look at this little butterfly scene that's on there. It's just art all by itself. And I think that's probably a better description of my channel is, you know, ways to be inspired and collect art. So there's little seed packet under here. We're going to drape this. And these, I'm actually, I don't patiently wait for it to dry. So I'm going to try to do it into two of these. So this little book is small, and I went ahead and taped off, it's not really a flip through, but there you go. There's a quick look. I taped off this page, and I might doodle a little over here, but I'm going to try to finish this one here. I'm kind of going to think I'm going to take close to an hour probably. And then over here, this paper is harder for me to work on, but I'm going to keep working. I taped this one off. I'm mixed media, so I'm going to be using, I'm terrible at a paint mixing palette, but I've been learning, and so very proud to say that I have burnt sienna and raw umber on there to mix with all of my colors to see if we can, how we do. Oh, I forgot white. I need some white on there, some titanium white. And then this is a watercolor palette, and that has a little bit of gouache up here, and it's a mess there, so we'll see if we can do that. So here we go. So thank you for coming in, and appreciate that you're here with me. I'm going to post a video this next week, and it will be probably a little bit of this kind of art, but it's going to mostly be my garden tour for the year. Oh my gosh, this is so small and this is so big. Well, we're going to go this way on this one for sure. But oh, I'm kind of sad. I almost wish I had a bigger base of, you know, what is this thing called? That's not a good sign if my mind is already, okay, so I'm going to shrink this down because I really want to focus on the flowers, so we got to go smaller. Oh, I don't even know if I have an eraser close by. Do we have an eraser in here? That's good. I got all the art stuff in every direction, of course. All right. Oh, there's just a little one on the back here. We'll do that. I'll make that work. Okay. All right. Trying to paint or draw with people watching. That could be interesting, right? Okay, we got a base cut it in here. This last week, this is how new I am. I'm going to give myself away. Are you guys actual painters and artists and stuff too? You guys have to chit chat with me and tell me what, cheer me on, because I'm nervous. My tummy's spice of life and you guys are scary. I used this for the first time, which is masking fluid. And I'm thinking about, maybe I'll play with one of these tonight. And, you know, that's the one where it leaves the white space and rubs off. And I also did the clear gesso underneath for a clear coat base, which was the first time for me. I'm trying to document my own learning. And the other thing I did with this was I actually used it almost like decoupage. And it went over the top of something that was paper craft. I could show you, but it's in one of the other books over there. I'll have to do that another time. Okay, so, we're gonna erase that. Let's see here. That brings it down. Oh, these flowers are, there's not gonna be enough room for all the flowers. Let's see. Maybe we'll have to see here. All right, I am nowhere close to a perfectionist. Probably should state that ahead of time too. And let's get the little tiny flower in there too. Not really fond of the pencil drawing, the pencil underneath this, and I haven't quite figured out how to get the pencil part to go all the way away. Oh, so you guys are getting a nice view of my double chin and my 50-year-old lady skin, but that's okay. All right, can you guys see what I'm actually doing here? Let's put something underneath. Okay, and and then we'll get, actually I'm gonna go ahead and get my behind the scenes. I'm gonna build up multimedia over here, so you'll see all the colors, but let's get a background in here. Just a little bit of blue at the top here. Go right on over. Guess I'm not gonna do the the masking fluid on this. Let's do that to get some of that kicked in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and get some, this going on down here. Get some, I did this. Is it in here? Oh, it's in another one. Oh, it's right here. I did these the other day, and they're too light. Like it's too, like even this is too like washed out. I kind of definitely like a bolder mix, like the vibrant. And so I'm gonna try to see if I can pull these up into a vibrant place. And the only reason I said that is because this is, see that like coffee brown kind of color there? It's not very dominant, right? It's kind of a lighter. And oops, I'll get that in there. Okay, base. No, we want this color in here. I don't know, we'll see. Let's go, let's go. Let's just get the art on. Are you guys from the Pacific Northwest? Are you dealing with winter weather still, or are you from somewhere else? Not even sure. Okay, so this one, let's do this one. I get to go a little bit more. And we're gonna go, let's get the hips on this. Let's get the hips on the vase, the bottom plate. I really am not leaving myself much room for like the seed pack like thing. Like that might not even fit in there. Like a little bit of seed pack. That's not gonna really, let's cut the flower or the plate up a little smaller. That'll help. Downsize that a little bit, and then the beads are gonna be tricky all the way around. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let's see how fast we'll cut this in and get it going. And daffodils are always a little tricky because they have so many different like planes. You've got the deep in, and then they pop. They're like the most three-dimensional of flowers, right? Okay, so make sure you guys get a chance to see what we're doing here. The little flowers, I'm kind of changing the, because there's only so much room. Let's get one big, let's put one down here so it's, get that in there. Okay. All right, so that's my story. This one's the different angle, so thank you again for popping in on me. I know that it's late on a Sunday night, wherever you're at. Okay, let's see. We are going to do acrylic over the top, probably pen and wash in there too. Let's see. No, that's not pink enough. I am definitely not the perfectionist. I'm not the measure exact person. I don't know that I'm super abstract either yet, so I'm still finding my way on that. They say that it takes time. You know, as an author, you have to spend time writing and doing in order to find your voice. Like, what's you out of the sea of all the ways that people can create and the beauty they can make? What is you? And I don't know mine yet. I'm just doing a lot so I can kind of figure out. I definitely know that I'm not a like super detailed person. So let's go in here and get a little shadow on the vase. They're gonna be a little, let's pull this up a little bit higher. Pull a, gonna wipe these. Oh, I shouldn't have done that before it dried. It's all bleeding because this one's watercolor. This one's a mixed media paper, and I don't really like it. That's one of those things. You gotta keep working with stuff to figure out which materials you like. And if you guys have a recommendation for a mixed media art journal, I would love to see. Or if you have somebody that you follow on YouTube, you could tag me their thing too. Ooh, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna use some washi over here, and we're gonna go ahead and stick it on. I'm gonna do big blooms. I'm gonna do like a micro view. Can you guys handle going with me on that? Let's just do, all right, we're gonna go in with leaves here. I don't even know how this works on this paper because I just got this for the other day for the first time, but it has to dry anyway, so we might as well. And, oh, you know what? It's not watercolor, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, that might not work. Let's do it on over here on this one too. And then the trick will be to see if I can keep from dragging my sweatshirt sleeve through it the whole time. But I got to look at an angle over here to see what I'm doing. Whoa, those are so... All right, she's a little crazy, There's 5, not 4, so let's do a smaller one here. Okay, so we're gonna do, whoo-wee, we're getting wild over here. Let's play, let's do this. Oh gosh, you guys, if this is something people actually watch, I'm so impressed because it's not like I'm super great at this, but I sure do have fun. And I want, hopefully keep you company. Hopefully it's good company. Okay, so we're gonna go in. I'm just gonna do I'm gonna lightly get in my yellow flowers where they're gonna be. And again, I'm gonna go acrylic over. So this isn't meant to be, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna try to do this. I think that these yellow flowers need to be marked in so I can see where they're gonna hit. And then I'll do, can we get a little yellow in that? Okay. There we go. It's a little bit wider. And, oh, I got my greens. I forgot to even mark in my tree branches. See these? These are, all of this is from my garden. I went out and picked it. Those have red on them, but I don't even think, green with the red in there, I don't even think it's gonna work. Oh, that's too watery still. Oh, yep, we're gonna goof up some stuff. Pretend there's some green at the base of this vase. Yeah, okay. All right, so the green can go, oh, I didn't even know if I waited long enough for this to dry. This doesn't like a lot of water, so we're gonna have to be careful with that. But let's get that in there. We wanna get a little bit of the darker green around the base. We sure can have fun though. Let's make a mess. Let's go, make the colors happen. Activate this blue over here so it'd be nice contrasting color. And oops, I don't want that there. Okay. This is getting pretty fun over here. I'm okay with what's happening. Let's get some, oops, that was a little bit too blue for that spot. Let's get that out and around. My pencil was going crazy when I was drawing up there. I was hitting this bottom one. All right, let's get some more water on there and let this watercolor do its, paper do its thing. Definitely gonna have some more flowers, but those will be the white. And we'll get, ooh, I'm gonna put some acrylic in there. I went for the acrylic and I'm gonna stick it in here to get the, it's watered way down, but this is not actually taped off, so little dippy splashes. That's gonna be fun. Okay, so now I gotta precariously hold this and let's see. Let's get some shapes in here. Basically cutting it in. I don't know what I'm doing. What do you guys think? When I do my book stuff, I write historical romance, Christian fiction, and it's set in Pacific Northwest, Oregon Territory. And I've been writing since 2000, but I've actually been published since 2019. I got my contract, 4 books out. All that to say, when I do my books, I hold myself to a high standard of learning. I go in and I learn from old craft books, new craft books. I take in teaching as much as I can to get really good at it. And I do a lot of study. And with other things, whether it be, you know, continued garden education or painting like this, or learning about the jewelry that I resell or anything like that, I really like to learn from videos. Like, I like to not make myself open all the books and dig in and read. I like to save that level of excellence, that high level of education for, oh, look, I dunked the tag in the blue. Oh, that's going to be lovely. So you guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm learning by doing. Are you guys doing anything with me? Are you over there learning by doing also? I hope so, because that's the experience I want. Is last time somebody was puzzling with me, and they were another person was crocheting and knitting with me, and I just find that to be so inspiring. I want you guys to do your art too. Okay, these are still pretty wet, but let's get some circles on these beads. That would be so cool to pop those up. I don't have my seed pack in here cut in yet. So what color is the seed pack? It's kind of in the pinky zone too, isn't it? I got these big palettes for oil painting because I saw other people get them and I was like, this is probably how I should get organized for this too. And they're too big. Look how crowded my desk is already. Like, I don't know quite how to do that. Okay. Gotta wait for that to dry. I'm tempted to, let's see here. Let's cut this in. So this is one of those little things that they said. They said if you use some of your color palette in other places on your piece, the color cohesion of, like, because it's not like a shadow needs to be red, but if I do the same color I use somewhere else, then it will be a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, so we got little flowers on here too. Probably ahead of myself on this, but kind of getting fun already. Cutting it in. When I'm not on film, I really like to use one of these guys so that we can blow dry it because it's super obnoxiously loud, but if you blow dry it, then you don't have to wait and, you know, see, that's way too obnoxious. I can't do that to you guys, but I can take a sip of my tea. Cheers. Look at that little mandala cup. Somebody hand pottered it and I thrifted it out. That's fun. A lot of this stuff is thrifted. The vase is thrifted. This little water, my little water dipper is thrifted, and they're just so pretty. I just love them. Oh, and this, remember, I think I showed, if you were here last time, I showed somebody handcrafted that, and they like, it's like a hand, I mean, it's just basic, kind of an awkward little shape, but look how cute. Somebody made that. I should have put that in the picture because that would have been fun. Okay. I'm only talking to you guys because I feel like I got to wait for some of this to dry before I destroy it by doing wet on wet. I want to do wet on dry a little bit. Okay, so let's get into some more serious yellow here. Ooh, not sure I like. Trust the process. That's what they all say. So I will say it like they do. Trust the process. Basically, that means keep going until it turns out better than it was in the moment that you didn't like it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it means. Keep going. Keep going. And we just keep adding little layers. Oh, I kind of like the way this is working out. Let's get some. Okay, so did some watered down acrylic, but I don't have my white in there on the acrylic. So let's do that. Let's get, don't I have a white base? I'm going up there. It's going to be obnoxious. There we go. See, these are my paints. Do I even have a white? Some of the ones I put on my mixing palette were from a garage sale too. All right. Of course, it's the last one. Here we go. White. Okay. Okay, very obnoxious. We'll go for this. I did have one tube of this stuff, and I'm not brand specific yet, but I see some people will actually collect a full set of different brands because they work differently. But the one lady that I've been enjoying, Sandy Hester, she says this one's the creamiest, whatever that means. So let me add some white over here to my, remember I said the other mixing palettes were too big? Maybe this is too small. I don't know, we'll see. But Let's make a mess. Let's mix it on our paper. How's that? All right. I need one of you guys to brave up and leave me a comment so I can actually see if it shows up on here. I haven't done this with being able to see that yet. And okay, so let's do white with a teeny tiny bit of this burnt umber color. And let's get these beads, the little thickener color. There we go. Okay. They're not quite rounded out yet. That's going to be fun. So I will at the end, I'll be using markers and pens and stuff in here and everything. So if that's not your thing, I don't know what to tell you. I see some people on there, like they teach and they do all kinds of amazing stuff. People are so talented. And there's a sense of like, what do we do that's different than everybody else? Like, because there's so many people who are painting and doing it. But it's like I don't know, I think it's almost an innate need in a human being to get creative, to be creative and to produce something, like not to produce for the sake of producing, but for the sake of being, like being in the moment, being. And I think some people's propensities are just like in their personalities, the detail specific. I actually been watching this silly little Instagram person whose husband got her like an 18,000 piece puzzle, and so she's recording her process every day. And I was like, it's so silly, but even that, like just to accomplish a puzzle, puzzles are awesome. But for what they're doing there, they're like, it's just sitting down and doing and watching being in the moment, being right there and watching it happen. Like, oh, those are not looking like beads yet. We will, again, trust the process. Let's trust the process. All right, let's get some of this white on the vase. Yeah, let's get that in there. Some people say they don't paint with white, and I don't know why. I like white. I like the contrast. I like it when it picks up that white, the light, right? So we have a big patch of light here, and we're going to put our so I don't know, I'm having fun. Hopefully you guys want. So okay, so that is that. Let's let a little, I'm actually going to add this white with a tiny bit of the yellow mix here, just a very pale. And let's get some of these, yeah, a little bit more yellow in there. Pale it out a little bit. Let's get some of these ones cut in here. There's some tan in there. A lot of green in the middle, but I don't even know, like I'm adding the acrylic at the same time as I've added watercolor, but I'm not sure if that's actually kosher. Am I breaking the rules? Probably. I kind of like breaking the rules. Knock that back a little bit. Okay, I still haven't gotten the seed packets in either one. I'm not sure I really can. Let's get some. Whoa, that's big. I'll cut an angle in here. That doesn't quite look great, but I'm actually going to do it on both of them. Kind of like the. I told you I like a little bolder color, so there we go. We got a bold, some bold in there. All right. So we got the masking fluid that's setting up pretty good. I was thinking about just doing two, so I'll have a white flower and a yellow one. So let's go in here and catch this one's going to be going this way. So let's do this. Let's get the hot outline of second one. Again, I'm making sure everybody knows that I'm like a doodler. I've done art a lot, but I feel like I'm pouring myself into it a little bit in this season of my life. And I'm kind of liking that a little bit of, oh, that's supposed to go dark as it goes down in there. So it's looking good. Hey, somebody commented. Yay, you made my day. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Feeling like I have company is all of the fun. I'm not going anywhere. I think that one of the things that people forget to talk about with doing YouTube is that the person who actually does the videoing has quite the journey of learning about themselves. Both, yeah, sure, technology's in there. But you end up learning when you have to talk. It's like public speaking mixed with technology, mixed with, the fortitude of showing up and like you have to do something. So what is it that you're going to do? All of that's a little bit tricky and challenging. It's kind of fun. And I saw a video the other day on YouTube. I kind of like these ones. Yeah, I'm 50 years old, and last summer I had the beautiful, difficult delight of watching my mother-in-law pass away. She passed away in my living room with me right there with her. And as hard as that is to talk about, it was actually a good experience. And she was 84 years old. But you can't have that experience without having a tiny bit of thoughts about mortality and the shortness of life. And one of the things that's come out of that for myself is really just growing greatly and great comfort in the idea that that's inevitable. And so one of the things that's ended up happening is I keep watching these videos of very capable, talented people who are living until they're 100. Good. Yeah, I started posting some of my videos. Oh, I hope, will you tag me at some point? Will you when you do a video, I wouldn't mind if you shared with me so that we can cross, like, so I can find you again. I guess I can, did you put them right there on your YouTube or is it on your Instagram or something? Like, I need help. We'll have to, if you put it in the comment, hopefully I can find these later. Last time it wouldn't put the comments over on the video, but hopefully this time it does because I've been doing it wrong, a little bit of mistakes. Anyways, with the getting old, I saw this video of this lady and she was 92 years old. She still had a studio and she was still painting up a storm and all different kinds of art. Like it was like most artists. That's what I want to cultivate on here. I am a novelist, I'm a writer, but I don't exactly want to sit down and talk about writing the whole time because it's hard, it's boring. If you're not going to teach craft or have that whole following it, but honestly, I don't want, that's a lot of work. I want the play. So I'm not sure this is going to work there, but we'll go in there anyways. And so this lady, she said that she during the hard time of lockdown, remember when we all had to do that, she said that she's 97. She goes, I was so happy to be locked in my own. She goes, I have plenty of things to do. And, she was busy and she showed us what she had been doing. And it's the truth. She was busy and she was alive to living. And, we don't know our day or our numbers, but we do know that we're all on a slow expiration and it can be sad and tragic to think that way, but it can also be very freeing. And I'm not so sure that, like I said, it rode close to my house this last year. So it gives me a need to think about those things. What kind of art, avert, I don't know what name to call you, AVRGRT. What kind of art are you up to? What's the journey that you've been showing and sharing? It's actually kind of neat. Oh, I forgot that was supposed to be a leaf in here. Oh gosh. Woo! We did it. That was an intense leaf. Yeah, we can get this in there. My YouTube channel. Oh, color pencil drawings. average art. Hey, we'll be average together. But hey, you know, my I feel morbid because I'm going to talk about my mom now, who I lost in 2019. But at the end of her life, when she was talking with me, she said the thing that she was the most proud of was the stuff that she didn't quit. And she was a beautiful artist. Like half of my pencil, some of my supplies are from her, which makes me feel super sentimental too, because um, it's my mom's stuff, you know. I'm not gonna get to see that anymore. But she said, just don't quit. So don't quit. Average becomes not average if you keep doing it. And if we get to live till we're 92, like that lady, then you never know. You might actually pick up some not average skill along the way. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay, so I'm filling this in a little bit. Got some green has to get in there, right? Okay. Too muddy still, too imperfect, but we'll get there. We'll try some of it. So I keep, this is acrylic, and I hope, can you guys actually see? Oh, no, you can't. Let me slide. Is it worth it to slide over? You guys aren't seeing what I'm grabbing, because sometimes I'm grabbing, I'll move that one over. So if you see me grab there, that's the acrylic. If you see me go down here, it's watercolor. And we're definitely going to be, like I said, it's too, I want it to have some vivacity. I like me some color, you know, just like my blingy jewelry and all the other stuff. So yeah. Okay. So colored pencils. Are you a realist? Do you take the time? Some of the color, I have a couple inspiration books that when they write, when they do their colored pencils, it's so real. It's like the realist. Are you a realist? Describe what kind of a painter you are, or a pencil artist. And do you do other kinds as well? Are you, okay, I'm trying to catch this faded yellow color in here. I'll get that in there. Oh goodness, we love us some. Okay, now we got to get, there's no yellow in this vase, but I'm adding a touch. We got to get the plate to pop again. Oh, that's too wet still. Darn it. I sabotaged it. All right. Okay. Gotta let that dry. This one is not very distinct, but we're going to have that yellow in the middle. So let's get some power yellow in here. I'll add some white on top of that and knock it back a little bit. So the center of these have little stamens and stuff, and they have these little ridges, which we're going to get there. And this one needs my, I'm going to mix. So one of the ladies was talking to me when I was learning from her. She said that the watercolor, when it's like pigmented blue, it's the same pigment that's in the acrylic blue. They're just mixing a different base with it. And we're going to do beads on this one, but oh, look, they got a blue base. There's not enough room to do, let's do some off over here too. Ooh, those are gonna, how are we gonna make those pop? I don't know. I don't know. We gotta let that dry. That's the reason why I start so many of them. I like doing realism, special objects that no one cares about. I love to draw ordinary things like new artists, so I don't have a lot of experience with my media, but I really want to try watercolor. Oh, I'm good. Yeah, the watercolor is, it's so funny because when I see a watercolor person, I actually think a lot of times that the beginning process of watercolors, like everyone's kind of look the same. And I'm not complaining about that. It's an observation. Let's get some depth down in here. And but I think it's almost like a rite of passage. Like you have to get your chops. And so, and what I like learning from other people, I like when they say things like you have to spend like 10,000 hours or do 10,000 paintings to get to the point where you even know your materials. And I really think that's probably fairly accurate. Like, and that's actually half of what I'm doing. So my goal is to fill up art journals because they're measurable, like you're progressing. and yet they feel like a place where I can make rookie mistakes and not feel like I have to be perfect or even have to like show off. Like, not that I want to show off, but like if you're doing a canvas and you're invested in a big canvas piece of art, then, you know, do you put it up in your house? Have you guys been brave enough to put in a piece of art up in your house? That's actually one of those things that I want to do someday. I want to not just put it up in my house, but actually like it. There's two separate things there, right? Okay, as you can see, I'm not a person who cares if my stuff mixes around, and I don't mind that at all. So let's get this back up in the tip here. So yeah, very cool. Um, I'm a journaler. That's probably something I'll like keep in my channel too. I'm just gonna do all kinds of creative things. So I kind of want to be one of those people who puts out regular stuff and that they're just kind of dynamic. Some people are so remarkable. Does anybody else find I'm so grateful to live in the technology day and age and with YouTube because you know I like me a good TV show. Entertainment is got its place, that's for sure, especially in this crazy world that we live in. And but I certainly love being able to pick my interests on TV, like and to learn from people. I call it a poor man's education. Like even the jewelry stuff that you guys see, my collectible stuff that I sell on eBay, I've learned all of that over the years from just watching different people on YouTube explain what they're seeing and what they're looking at. And I find it to be very inspiring when you can pick up a skill from watching people and learning that way. And okay, let's do a little bit of, this is going to be underneath the rubby off stuff. What did I call it? Masking fluid. Yeah. Okay. And so if I have my flower here and I got my ripples, there's got to be some more shading and shadowing in there that I'm missing. But, okay, I'm going to leave that one alone for a minute. There's we are. Can you guys see that a little bit better up close? Here we are on this one. And again, rookie, newbie, we do multiple so I can give myself the patience to watch something dry because, you know, this is definitely not action-packed to watch it dry. I think that this shadow that I got here is supposed to be on the other side. So let me knock that back and bring the little bit of color back up on this side. Not, oh, that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? So now I'm gonna do what they said and I'm gonna add a tiny bit of color there. And then we got a little bit down in here. Near, it's not really supposed to be red, but we're getting there. I felt that was a good move. We want to pop out these. What do you guys think? Was that a good move? Did it give it some depth? We're going for that depth. Yeah. Okay. So now we're up here on this one and we got to kind of do the same thing. Where is the shadows? I don't know. We're kind of pulling in from multiple directions. It's too orange, so I might knock it back, but yeah, I might have to knock it back, but I'm kind of liking that it's helping me see my shapes a little bit better. And who knows, maybe we'll just leave it, you know, do daffodils. There are daffodils that are that color, that's for sure. Oh, over here, over the last couple of days, we have started to get the cherry blossom galore. If you guys live in the Pacific Northwest, I think you know what I'm talking about, but I have friends who don't get that. They don't get the blooming, like my daughter-in-law is from Las Vegas and she hadn't seen many blooming fruit tree season here before. Okay, that's too much. I'm going overkill on that. So we're going to get back out of that. Let's get some, I'm going for, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's get some work on this vase in here. So this is going to be crazy. Let's do a vivid, get the vivid red going on in here. We want to get some flower shapes going. My goodness. Oh. I don't want to be exact here. I just want to be, that was a little bit too much. This thing has so much texture and color on it. Okay. And I still want... So the reason that I switched, I like doing watercolors. The watercolors are too thin and too white for me. But then I learned that gouache is gouache is an opaque watercolor. So it's water-based and what the medium is underneath of it, I don't know. But then I would use acrylics, and I actually like even like look at this is an acrylic, a beginning acrylic painting. I want to put a hummingbird on there, but if you look at it like sideways, I don't know if you can see it in there. It's like how do I turn it that way? You can see like the 3D look to it, like it's lifted up, like there's a texture on this, and like wildly awesome. I love that. And so it's hard to get a texture like that with watercolor, which not that many people are trying to get that with watercolor. Oops, that's not quite the right. Well, this is our seed pack. We got to get it kind of going in here, but it's not quite right. So I'll just aim as we mean to go here. What was I saying? The 3D part is why I don't just do the watercolor, because for a long time that was all I did, because that's what I had and that's what I kind of had been exposed to. And then I was like, so I've been slowly stumbling into the like oil pastel crayon thingies and all of this, and I'm like, where has this stuff been my whole life? This is actually really fun. And so yeah, you're gonna get some of that on me tonight. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, we have a little blue butterfly, and he's definitely a prominent part of this picture. So we're gonna use the wet acrylic to try to get it to be smooth. And I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna pop that bad boy on there, and then we'll work out any faults later on. Go for it. Let's get a butterfly. Come on, little butterfly. Butterfly. Butterfly! Okay. And then they got some blue in these flowers, which is very unrealistic, because you know how hard it is to find blue in flowers? Like forget-me-nots are really, and hydrangeas. Okay. Do we want to put, okay, so I'm going to use this same blue. I'm going to wet it down just a little bit more. Maybe I'll put some burnt umber in there a little bit. Oh, that was too much burnt umber. Whoa, that went sideways real quick. We don't want that much. We want blue to give it just a little bit of a, okay, so this is going to be intense. We're going to get a contrast on these pearls, the dark side of the pearl. Oh, you guys probably can't hear this, but I have brand new Labrador puppies. That's another one of those things. Because, you know, if you're creative and you look for the beautiful things, you're going to find it in a million directions. It's never just one, right? And they always say ADD and this and that. I'm like, nah, we got a life of discovery before us. We're going to keep going. So I have 3-day-old lab puppies. She had 8 puppies. They're little chocolates. I do not like that, but we will be going back in on this, so that's okay. I'll add some detail to my little plant here. Okay. Average lady, if you're still with me, are you actually drawing with me right now? Do you have your stuff out? You can say no, and I will not be disappointed. I just am curious. Okay, let's do this. I've never been very good with perspective. So forgive. Perspective sucks. Okay, people? I'm going to get some shadows in there. All right, I don't know how to do the shadowing with the... I'm going to let that dry. I just did a tiny bit there, but I'm going to let that dry. and peel that stuff off, because that will be very satisfying. I like to peel that. It's almost like the glue. Did anybody ever do the kid thing in grade school? Am I dating myself? The glue where you covered your hands and you peeled it off. I didn't eat it. Some people ate it, but okay, that is not, this is so, I kind of feel like I've gone dark on these and I'm not sure. I'm getting scared, people. So, oh, thanks for sticking around at bedtime. Oh, hopefully it's worth your time. Okay. Yeah. Well, you'll have, do you go live ever? This is, I would actually, it would be fun to have the goal of me doing the lives is to actually start making the online pals that hang out with you when you're doing things like this. Okay, before I do this one, I'm going to see if this one's dried enough, because I'm going to try to peel this off. Let's see if it works off of this paper. Okay, it's peeling, people. I don't know, sometimes the one paper I did it on, it actually like peeled up the paper. But this one seems okay so far. See, it's like that. I wonder if that would work with color pencil. See, that's the kind of question that I really like about the discovery process. If you put down this and then did your color pencils over it, I bet you that would be a cool effect. Have you ever tried that? Might have to try that. Actually, do I have a color pencil? I do. Hold up. I have color pencils, and I just have these little sets. I have color pencils, and then I have watercolor pencils. So I've got this partway erased, so we might have to let it dry again. If she can open the thing, let's see. All right, so we got the greens and the yellows for texture. I don't really want to do blues or anything else. These needed to be sharpened, but I do think my sharpener, I got this was another thing. Do you know how cool it is to get the sharpener that does the long? Oh my gosh, people need to keep making videos for me to learn, because that's half the fun. And making that point long so that you can use the side of it more than the tip. Oh, I bet you're a total pencil snob. This is like the cheapest. I think these ones are from like when I had little kids. My kids are not little. I'm a grandma. I have 3, and I got to see all 3 of them today. And one is 3, one is 1 and just walking, and the other one is almost 4 months old, and he weighs 17 pounds. So he is, oh, if you go too heavy, then it lifts it. Like, does that make sense? Like if you scratch too hard. You're learning a lot with me? Oh, cool. Yeah, let's see. So doesn't that look pretty? Like you catch the edge. Oh, wait, I'm not even on the edge of it. It would be in here. I thought that white part was. So they're there, and then watch this. You've probably done this before, but watercolor pencils, these are awesome. That was a lovely noise I just made for you guys. So what I learned about these, or what I actually am going to skip this set, because I have these ones from my mom, and they're a different brand. Those are Faber-Castells. These ones from my mom that are in here are, what is that? Statter, S-T-A-E-D, Tiller, Stadler. And they are, that's a brand I've seen before, and obviously I haven't had to say it out loud much before. But they are so, like that lady said, creamy. They're so much smoother. Like they're not. And so what I learned about these is you dunk them in your water instead of doing, like I can do the same thing I just did where I color like this, but I can also get it wet. And what? This is so pretty. When it gets wet, it's like, oh, that's not showing it very good. But we want it to be leaves. So let me get this one. This paper isn't the best paper for this. So this green, See how it moves differently? It's like a, okay, that's actually the more intense color that I like. And so I'm not sad about that at all. That is gonna, I have to be careful because I'm getting into where my peel offy stuff, masking fluid. Let's use proper terminology. I'm never going to be the person you guys want for reference for like where to buy your supplies and what they are, because basically I must have put some up here because that is going to be cool in there. Let's do that. Okay. And then just for continuity, let's do a bit down here. Now this down here, I don't have an edge so it can bleed. And we have, this is the weirdest color, but I actually really like using this color. So this is the center, so we're going to try to use this as like the ruffly part, you know, like the ruffles. I'm saying that my daffodils have ruffles. If you guys don't think they have ruffles, then I don't know what to say. We got ruffles. We got ruffles in here. So we're going to hit this a little bit up there too. Okay. So that was very fun to add into it. Do you see the color changes in that? Okay, that's getting closer. We went wild, people. We went wild. And that makes me want to use these pencils over here on my thing because they do add a bit more structure. And I definitely told you it's too milk paste for me when I do just watercolors. I definitely need a little bit more zap and pizzazz in mine. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Okay. Yeah. So what is it? Is it shadow goes deep, makes it go back, and light brings it forward? Is that what it is again? I forget. Told you I'm learning. I think that's the right way to think about it. And we're going to add a little shape on this thing here. I've kind of lost some of these flowers in here, so we're going to try to lift them out. I don't even know which one goes with what. I think that's the other one over here. I kind of like some of these loose marks. They're making me happy. So yeah, because that's the thing. If I go for an exact real shape, then I have to be patient and actually do that. And this girl does not win any patience awards. Getting better. I actually heard a quote that said that something about, this is butchered quote, said that impatience was not being content with what you have in the moment, that you're always wanting something else. And I was like, ooh, that's a teaching on impatience that I could actually listen to. Okay, this is colored pencil. So now we're going to try just to jam some colored pencils on the top. Ooh, kind of like. This is colored pencil, so I can be a little bit more determined. Different texture. Let's get some of those popping yellows back in there. And even fill in. Can't quite, it's not the right color yellow to make the ruffles. Again, my ruffles. But let's try to use the green to catch the flower bits here. Get some more dynamic green going on through here. This is not the watercolor, but I think this watercolor would do that even better. So we're gonna hit these. Yeah, see that juicy? Gonna like that, gonna like that. That gives me the pop I want. It makes the yellows contrast out. Oh, look at that. That's better to me. I still don't like the bottom of my stuff down here. Okay. Okay. What does my daisy even look like up here? We still have our pearls. Oh, that's what we could hit with this. Let's do some pearls. Let's make our pearls pop. I need some pearls on the plate. That was probably an you know, when you make a still life, it's oops, that's dripping. Don't want that drip there. Okay, that's telling me. So I caught a little bit of the beads, a little bit. Get some layers in there. Okay, that one has to sit and rest now. Okay, this is still wet up here, but I think it's dry enough down here we can peel. So let's peel. That was what we were doing, is leaving this alone to get the peel. And this is like a scratch off lottery ticket. You don't need to go pay the money to play. You just have to paint it on there and let her dry. Oh my gosh, I feel like the masking fluid, I had to look it up after I saw it. I was like, can you use masking fluid under like other types of paint medium? Like, and you can. I just did. Apparently that's something everybody else knows and I didn't. I will say that I saw people use like an eraser to do this, and I could see why, because if you have any leftover paint on your fingers, I just sort of like contaminated my white right there. But the kind of painter I am, no one is gonna know. That's what I did. Ooh, look at that line. That is a cool line. They always say with watercolor, you wanna, you know, let the white of the paper be part of the art, and I have a hard time with that because I want the vivacity too. Oh, see, I lifted. This is tearing the paper. I never know what to do with that. Like, oops, don't do it. Don't do it. Hold on, paper, hold on. I'll rescue you. All right. Ooh, but see how that, like, I really like that little moment right there. That's like pretty. So we're peeling and peeling, trying not to tear the paper. But I think the eraser is helpful with the tearing, because if you go with your fingers, then you're kind of going in the same direction too forcefully. But oh my gosh, I am so a fan. So everybody, if you don't have masking fluid, it's not that expensive. This is what it looked like when the big bottle, that was the most purchased one off of good old Amazon. Sorry if you're not an Amazon fan. I am, because I live in the country and everything takes a lot of oh yes, use it, and then tag me in a, if you're, I'm on Instagram, I'm author Cara Grandel, or Cara Grandel author on there, and oh gosh, this is just so fun. And that's where the puppies and the flowers and all that stuff will show up too. I love this. This is actually really cool. I don't know quite what to do with all that white though. Should I add some detail? Maybe I can use my tiny little black pen liner and do that. Oh, I have another idea. Okay. Except it's not up here. Do I have a set of those up here? I have figured out, I have a roll of pens, and I didn't bring it up here, but I have a roll of pens where I know which pens are water soluble and which ones are color fast. But I'm not sure that I have any up here at my desk. I'm trying to set myself up so I have a plein air where I can go outside, plein air paint, which I have just done that for the first time. I mean, I've doodled in my planner out there before, but that's not the same as trying to do an actual painting out there. And I'm trying to set that up, and I want a quick to go kit. Like if I'm gonna travel or be in the car for a long period of time or something, I kind of want those things to happen. And so I have these little kits where I'm setting things up, but I don't think I have. So this one's color fast, but it's the wrong color. Yeah, I don't think I set myself up with that. Let's see if it's in here. Okay, so this one won't bleed. So this is what I mean. This won't bleed if I put water over the top. So if I doodle and then put water over the top, this one won't smear and bleed, but this kind will, which can be kind of fun. And so I'm going to use that one, but I don't have enough. I need a better color option. And the way we make them bleed is you can, if you're traveling, you use one of these water pens, which is so fun to do. But I have my two greens that are a little more color fast, so this is where my little abstract girl is gonna happen here, people. So we're gonna get some of this going on. We're gonna just have some fun, make some marks. I'm a mark maker, so I'll let you guys see. We're gonna be a little bit loose and free in here. Get this rolling around. Gives me a little bit of, and let's see, I wish, oh, maybe I have it. Let's do this. This is the yellow. Okay, this is the yellow from the other brand of watercolor pencil. I'm getting it wet. We'll see how it does. I'm just gonna hit this a little bit for the, remember, we want ruffles. Let's get some ruffles on the edge here. Where else do these things, they kind of have a, it's hard. How do you make, you don't really want the whole flower to be. Let's get some pockets in here. Yeah, so see how I just went over that with water on there and it didn't actually smear the green. The other green would have like blurred out and actually made a nice pretty mark too. So yeah, let's get our play going on here. Let's get some darker. Okay, I'm having fun with that. That's really fun. Okay, getting in there a little tighter. Gonna let that dry. Part of the reason why I have to go slow is because I will definitely overwork. You know, I think it's elusive when you say overwork, like, what does that mean? And really nobody knows. It's like personal preference. Yeah, okay, so these are literally like $3. These are the Crystal Bic. Can you see that? Does that read in the right direction for you guys? I don't even know. And so the whole pack of the rainbow of colors of these is like a couple bucks, like $3 or $4. And then the other one, wherever I stuck it, back in here, these are really fun to do in my art journal. These are Energel ones, and they are very good for, yeah, let me show, let me do a doodle in here and I'll show the difference. So, okay, so this one, we have the blue watercolor. So I'm gonna come in here on this side where I have the blue watercolor and do some marks so I can actually show you. So there's that. And now, so obviously those are like scribbly lines, right? But now if I go in with the wet over the top, they will blur out. See, they're gonna be like softened. And the blue ink will move around and go fudging around into other places. So you still get your main mark, but you're like, I like to use the phrase knocking it back a little bit. So it adds the texture, but it doesn't, yeah, I don't know what to call that. Hopefully you followed that along. I'm losing my words a little bit. Okay, getting my water in here and just fluffing it around a little bit. This is really fun. I'm having a great time. Okay. So we're gonna use a tiny different shade of shadows. Getting shadows in here on this white. Too much shadow. Lift it back up. Okay. So I have this one, and I was supposed to be doing a yellow one up there. So let's go really opaque. So I'm going for my acrylics, and I'm going to be really heavy with the texture of it. So we want to go here, right? We wanted it to be true. So with the acrylic one, I might have to seal it so it doesn't stick to this side. Sometimes if you have acrylic on both sides, they like to grab each other. And you can use a thing of wax and like put a layer of like if you go to the store in the aisle where the canning stuff is, you can get wax, like a block of it, and if you scrub it over the top of your art, it will Oops, that wasn't quite what I wanted. Oops, that's a little too yellow or orange. What was I saying? Oh, it will keep the pages from sticking together. That's what I was saying. But, and I've done that before, but I think that the sealant works a little bit better. And I just had my sealant out, so that'll be easy. Okay. Do we get the bright flower on top of the green? I'm not sure yet, but we're aiming at that. And this one has, that's the peel off, so I'm going to see if I can peel off under that. So we have to let that dry. That would be cool if it did, if it worked. Okay. This one's making me happy, so we're getting there. That's the whole point, right? Just to make yourself happy? Oh, Gil, that's fun. Thank you. Bet you hadn't seen anybody do it, huh? That means I'm doing something that's me, right? Basically, enjoying myself is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm pulling the pencil-y look like right out of these, soften it up a little bit. This is the lighter color one. I haven't quite figured out. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the color I just made and pound it with the white. So it'll be white with a very little tiny bit of orange in there, like pale yellow, pale, pale, pale. But this is acrylic. So we're going for the pop, right? We got to get these white flowers, those teeny little, there's a little, what do you call it? Paper white flowers in here that have, totally have white, and with the little red white or little centers, that's going to have green at the base. Whoo, starting to see a little bit of fun popping out. Okay. I think I want to do this other white flower. It's not the right way to do it. I don't know quite how to make the dimensions of these things. There's so many layers of their dimensions. That doesn't feel right either, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's get that one in there. Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, some of these have. There we go. Pull that up. Okay. Back to the vase that we're messing with. So, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to, that's nice of you to say. I'm looking forward to, I'll try to find you after this and say hi. That's the thing. I'm just looking for the people that make it worth popping on and chatting with. And you were very encouraging, so I appreciate that. I don't have hundreds of viewers and hundreds of watched hours and all that. But I am newly back, and I plan on doing more in lots of areas. So we'll see what happens. So have a good night. Thank you. So I know if she heads out, if there's anybody else brave enough to say hi to me. I'm almost done, so I think I'm almost done. Oh, I still have these dang seed packs. I'm not really into these seed packs. These are, maybe I'll take it out. That's actually what I'm going to do. Let's take the seed packs out. Taking the seed packs out. Executive decision. We like the pearls. We don't like seed pack. Seed pack goes bye-bye. It's like a magic eraser. Let's get some other colors going on back here. This is so fun, guys. I don't know if you guys are enjoying yourself, but I am. That's sort of the point, right? Okay, so these got to go rounded out a little bit. All right. Okay, I feel like I need to slow down on that. I'm going to go overdo it. Oh, I haven't put my blue butterfly in there, and I kind of like the blue butterfly. So let's make the blue happen. We're going to take the straight acrylic. We're just going to do another one. Oh, that one turned out even cuter because it was smaller. Yeah, let's do that. That feels kind of large and in charge, but we'll see. Okay, so bringing this blue down into my shadows here. Let's get it in the shadows. That's continuity, right? Okay. So now I think I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to go for something other than these wet paints. I think I'm going to let that dry. Are we still wet on this one? I'm not happy with this one. It's too pale and too soft on everything. So add a little bit of depth in my shadows with this while it's still my brush. Actually don't mind. This seed packet is working a little bit for me. Okay. My pearls are starting to pop a little bit on this one. All right. Let's get some green on the vase. More detailed. What do you think? Is that all right? Is that starting to come along? It has it all the way up. Kind of like that. I might do that a little bit over here on the... That was a good choice. I think that's nice on there. Okay, so we get in here. All right, now we want to hit this. I'm going to hit this one. The flowers are not bold enough for me. So we're going to do what we did last time, and we're going to hit these acrylics, and we're going to get some bolder dimensions going. This one, I want to have some layers. Now we need a white flower. So we got to hit this back down with the white. Right here. Ooh, that might not have worked. We'll see. But we'll get... We want to get this yellow in here. I'm actually kind of liking that. It's getting there. It's getting there. Why don't I like my... I'm not really big on my plate anymore. I made a prettier color. Let's see if we can hit this. Made a prettier color, but we'll see. Might have to do some more work on that. Oh, that's going to drip if I hold it that way. Okay. Oh, thank you. Hello. That's very nice. Okay. My little chitter chat isn't too annoying because that is what this girl can do. I used to feel bad because I talk a lot, but I actually like to say things that make, you know, life is so hard. Like life is just, I like to say things that bring beauty and encouragement and joy, right? Like I don't want to be, there's enough, forgive my blowhards out there. Like, let's get some, you know, just, this is just, you know, the older you get, the more you get to see the hard parts of life, the more things kick you in the teeth, so to speak. And it's important to have inflow of things that are just pleasant, that are good news, that are filled with faith and love and hope and all those things that inspire, right? Beauty, the beauty parts. And so hopefully that's what this is. And that's what I'd like my channel to be. That's why I'm going to keep sharing because that's what I want back. I want it to myself. And I feel like, you know, I think there's a quote that says, the person that refreshes will themselves be refreshed. And I think that's that should be like my motto or something similar to that. So, and we all know that if you're creative of any sort, then that, you know, the imposter syndrome and all those kinds of things are very, very valid issues. They're valid for sure. Okay. Oops, that's too white. Too white. Can I knock it back right here? Yeah, that's basically using my own painting as a palette. Mix it right there. Let's get that to go. Actually, kind of like how that's doing. It's kind of blending it better. All right. Okay. Here, no. Let's just get this color on here. We won't waste it. We'll just get it on here. Yeah. Plus, it's kind of fun. It's just relaxing. And plus, it's making me do it. I'm going to have 4 paintings done that I didn't have before. So we need to do that. I'm going to wiggle you for a second because I actually need to plug in my cell phone, which I can do really easily, but it's going to wiggle for just a second. Wiggle you. There you go. Don't you feel like you have more energy now? Okay, we're going to let that dry. And I'm going to hit these bad boys with my pens after this. And pens will be a couple different kinds. And I'm actually going to finish. Can I get away with peeling the rest of this up? I'm going to try. I like this peely stuff. Like, I'm sure some weird people out there have come up with some way to be professional peelers because this is kind of satisfying. Like, they figured out how to spend their lives putting down layers and peeling them up, right? We have no shortage of people finding. I guess I should probably not shame that. Maybe there's a good thing in that. I don't know. Whatever. Tactile. I mean, it's like right up there with ASMR. Like, it's important. Some people need it. So, hey. Maybe I'm one of them because I kind of like doing this. This is kind of weird. It's weird. Rip. Didn't rip the paper, but this one is a mixed media, and it's not my favorite because, see, I'm going to have that blue. The water got the blue, and it's not going to matter. Like, I don't care that it's on her right there. Probably adds a dimension. It's actually coming through a wall, but hey, it didn't mess her up. But if it had been over here, it would probably smear her all around. So, and I don't seem to be able to help myself with the mixed media. So then I'm constantly doing art over something that's come through another page, which I don't mind, because that's, as you can see, like, that's what happened right there on her face. That's part of my creative process, is that exact process, is to kind of adapt and go with the mark making and stuff. But I would like one that didn't do that super much. That would be better. And, okay, what was I doing? I was peeling. Where's my... Is this the one I'm peeling? Oh, I'm almost there. It doesn't look like it even needs to be peeled anymore. Oh, I'm kind of happy with that. We're going to have to do... Okay, so this still has wet in the corner. I want to peel this wet, but I don't want to smear the... Ooh, this one's going to be satisfying. Look at that pure white. See this yellow right here? It's going to go pure white. Ooh. Hopefully I don't lose too much of my fun textures that were up here. Ooh, it even has a sound. Peel it up, peel it up, peel it up. And then we got to be careful because we're going to touch wet paint. So I might have to wait for a second more for this to dry. But I'm really curious if it peels up underneath the wet paint. Like, it's acrylic. It's obviously peeling up just fine with the watercolor. I gotta let that dry. I just know myself it's going to turn into a disaster. Look what I did. I only taped off 3 sides. That's my level of perfection right there, people. Look, it's taped here, it's taped here, it's taped here, not taped there, but I kind of want to see it. So we're taking the tape off too. This is what I like to do. It's the reveal way before you ever need it. You're supposed to wait until you actually finish it. Yeah. Oh, I almost tore out the whole page. Oh, that's going to rip. So let's go over here. I haven't quite figured that out either. Is that a patience thing? Like how you go? Do you have to go slow? We'll go slow. There we go. That was very satisfying. I think that these edges always make something look a little bit better. They make me look better than I am. And obviously with the crisp edge, that's way more particular than that. So that's where we are so far. I'm gonna let those dry. I gotta peel off the extra corner on this one a little bit more. And then I'm gonna go in with some pens and just get some, a little bit more depth, I think. But that's where we're at. Does that come in? Am I too close? Does the camera go out of focus when I get too close? Yeah, they definitely help, don't they? But I kind of like, this is what it was actually liking. I like this is macro and we're in close, or micro. Is that the right way? It's the flower is big, so I'm gonna say macro. And this one's like out further. So this one has that continuity, like, but this one doesn't have the bordered line. I kind of like that. I'm supposed to be finding out what I like, and you guys are along for the ride. So this one, there's nothing more to peel off, and so I'm gonna come in with pen. And I might use, this is white paint. That's what's in that little jar. It's this stuff. Bleed proof white. People say they're not supposed to use black and white, but I'm like, oh, good night. I like the black and white. Okay, I'm gonna peel the edges off of this one. This is actually looking okay, but it's my least favorite because it doesn't have enough contrast. I think contrast is the right word. Is that the right word when you're talking about the lights and the darks, like the super black next to the gray, next to the lighter gray, all the way to the white? Like if you were to take a black and white picture of it, this doesn't have enough of that. I think contrast is the right word, but definitely not trained over here. Value. I think that's what I mean. Is it contrast or value? What's the difference? They sound like the same word to me. If you know, you can help me. And just knowing won't make it so that I actually know what I'm doing with those concepts. But yeah. Okay, those peels, peel. Oh, it's tearing again. So it sabotaged my crisp edge. But you know what I'm really liking? It's gonna mess up this picture on the other side. There's like a lump. Do you see it? You see the yellow blob right at the top there? It works perfectly as part of the painting. I like that. I like that chunkiness. That's so good. That's why I can't just be a watercolor person. Watercolor is really fun and it's very freeing when you use it and it kind of spreads and goes. But yeah, so this is watercolor paper, pretty much tore its way around that whole thing. But we're going to pop that up, but I got to wait. This one is definitely still wet. And yeah, that's going to be fun, I think. I got to look at my picture a little closer on that. So we need this to hurry up and dry. Dry, sucker, dry. Okay. And actually, I'm going to make up a black acrylic because this stuff is not going to be good to my pens. I'm going to get in there with my pens and it's going to gum them up because I'm not being patient enough to wait for it to dry. And part of that's because I don't want to waste your time. Not trained, so I wouldn't be able to answer that, but value sounds right, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I want to learn that stuff online. I don't want to sit down and like take classes and read books and stuff. I want to learn by watching someone else do it. And some people take that stuff like they go so minutia. And I need the cartoon version of it, like the quick caption and a slight demonstration and away we go. Okay. Oh, you know what? I could use this pen a little bit. This will give me some depth here. These ones would do it. Okay, so can you still see what I'm doing? Okay. I know I'm going to do an overhead camera eventually, but I think this is okay. This is better. This is okay, this is making it not look round anymore. But okay, so there was a little bit of shadowing. We need to get some shadow in on my beads and on my, oops, this one got mode. I went over it. So we'll get those beads to pop. It's in frame good. Does it, when I put it up close to the camera, does it stay in focus? I'll do it again just so you can tell me real quick, because that's learning. If it's annoying to do that, then. Okay, so I'm gonna shove this in your face. So does that stay in focus when I come in close like that? Does it actually follow it? Okay, so we want to dip this in. Oh, good, stays focused. Okay, good. It is nice to see up close every once in a while, right? Okay, so we're, I have 3 water pans because, as you've seen, I don't really respect any of my colors. So meaning I don't keep them true. Some people don't let them, it's like the food on their plate. They don't let it touch. I'm like, let's just get this stuff. Let's just get this down. And, okay, so we're gonna, I'm happier with these. These are popping a little bit. Do I need to do some, yeah, let's do some work on these beads while we're at it, because that was beneficial. I got this little bit of a color on here. Make them round. Push them out. Apparently I can't chitter chat and make perfect circles at the same time. That takes some hand-eye coordination, right? They're not, definitely not perfect circles, but you get the point. You get the point. Nice. Okay. Okay, so again, these are too wet for me to, oh, I was going to use this green pen, and actually I was liking what that did. So how do I get the ruffly look on the edge of, ooh, that's kind of popping it a little bit, popping. So these things have like a little bit of like ribbing. The ruffly look is from the, like, it comes up from there. And I'm not sure if that's making it too, what do they say when you start painting? They say you're painting from your head and not your heart. Like you get where you're trying to make too realistic of a accurate thing. But this doesn't feel like that. This feels like I'm discovering, okay, I gummed up my pen. There we go. See, we'll make it work again. How's that for neat and tidy, right? Okay, so I actually kind of like that. Can you see the green pen in there? But so I've highlighted it, add some depth, but I'm not using black. I'm not ready to go in there with my straight up black because it feels like that would be too harsh of an edge. But I think I might find a spot or two to put some black to make it go in there. All right, this one's abstractor, more abstractor. Is that a word? Abstractor. That's a little bit more like that. This one, I could probably pull this in on the little bitsies here. Let's get some textures going on in there. Oh, I forgot. I can't tell what I think this is a flower here. Yeah, that kind of helps the white, the pure white, hold its own a little bit. Yeah, see that? You're a mixed media. Mixed media is fun. Yeah, are you mixed? What is your thing? Tell me what your, what's your bailiwick? Is bailiwick a good word? I think bailiwick is an old word, but what's your fun? What kinds of things do you do? Like I said, I'm a novelist and I'm a gardener and I do eBay and the costume jewelry. And so I'm going to make a whole video on how to make sun catchers. So like you can't get more. The only thing in common with me is that it'll all be a little bit artsy fartsy. Let's embrace our inner artsy fartsies, right? That would be the bottom line. I am going to do yeah. And, oh, this is getting closer. Some of these are popping for me. I'm half tempted to just slap some red in here somehow, like get a really big extreme pop. That's what happens when it's too soft. I'm like I'm itching just to make the contrast happen. How do we make the contrast happen? Yeah. All right. There's a little bit of fun in that. That was actually better. It popping it up a little bit. Getting there. Yeah, I could slap a big red flower right in the middle of that and it would it would take me away from the project, that's for sure. Okay. We want to mix in. I'm going tiny here because I want some depth. We want shadow under here. Dupe and shadow under the pearls. Dupe, dupe. I should probably have some opposite, some light, but I don't know. I'm adding some actual texture to the seed packet back there. I didn't erase this one. I'm kind of glad I didn't. It's improving. That one I will put black pen on for sure. Okay. We're gonna hit these centers, these flower centers. These are so weirdly, this one is green. Oh, hey, I got some movement in there. That looks a little bit like the ruffles on this white one right here. That's making me happy. All right, let's do. That wasn't quite what I wanted, so we're going back with the acrylic in muddy orange. Get there. But now I need an actual yellow. And I almost touched that to the front of my shirt. And I told myself tonight, oh, you don't need your smock because you're going to be sitting there and you won't make a mess. But those are famous last words, aren't they? Okay. All right, that's got to dry. That's the bloom that's in the middle. This little guy right here. We'll try to pop him out too in a little bit. But he's getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. Okay. Drawing with blue ballpoint pen. I just think that is so cool. I've actually tried a couple of times. I wonder if it's not blue, but I've tried ballpoint pen art. And it's actually close here. Let's see. I gotta let these dry for a second, so I'm gonna spin through. So this was an attempt at pen art. Like, that's just ballpoint pens. And I used a water brush over the top. That's actually all pen, but I smeared the color by, see, that's like a ballpoint pen, and then I just got it wet and smeared it around. So that was really kind of fun. I made the three-dimensional. I've been using this book to kind of experiment. This was trying to use limited palettes and weird palettes. And this is just straight up abstract. This was so relaxing to make, and it's so hideous. When I look at it, it's like not really that great. But it's fun. And this was an attempt at paper craft. So these are, yeah, thank you. That's one of my fun things. So these are actually the pieces of the flower packs after I've planted them in the garden. So when I open them up, they all have these beautiful art on the front. So I cut them up and then try to use them. And these little squares, we went to a concert, me and my best friend and her husband and my husband, and they popped the confetti at the end. So I put it in here. So it's kind of a memory. And I kind of like it. And I kind of liked cutting it. But I also have a little bit of a hard time when abstract stuff, they say you should paint like your inner child. And I have a little hard time of calling that real art, like in myself. But then here we are back to the soft stuff. So this was one of my first, see the white? So this is the masking fluid. This was literally the first one. I just did it the other day. And, you know, my personal desire is to get really good at faces and people. And the only way to do that is to do so many bad ones. So there's that. And I think I did one. I was looking for my, I think I have one more. Whoops, I just bumped you guys. Sorry, don't get seasick on me. I did one. This is from, so this is what I used to do all the time, like charcoal with a little tiny pen. And I like it, but I'm so much, this was when I only knew this, and I'm so excited to be in more detail now. Like I'm just very much more. So even this, like I did a handful of things with a palette knife, like, I know it's in here, it's sitting right here, right in front of my nose, right here. I literally tried to do whole paintings with one of these things. And it was actually really fun and made neat textures. Like, look at that. Look how thick and chunky that is. And that's like abstract enough. And I'm like, is there anything in there? I don't know. But it was actually really fun to make. And this was, one of the people said that whenever they were painting, if their brush had stuff on it, they would try to put it, not waste the paint. So underneath, it's all the extra paint from something. And then I tried to make it into something, which was actually fun, but also not, I don't like switching from this to just cleaning my brush on something. That step was annoying to me. So yeah. And so I got some abstract stuff in here, but I thought this had the pen one in it, but it must be a different one. This one was, play, like, I only know the language of the novelist. When the novelist, like, there's only 8 storylines. Every single story out there, they can boil down to 8 plot lines. So the thing that makes the books different is the person writing it. It's them and the way they do things. And so if they, this is my grandson, he painted that, he colored that with me. There's a butterfly. I like this one. That one turned out neat. And this is, I like mark making. This is what I would call mark making. It actually has a bird and it's a little bit Asian influenced, or is Asian the right way to say it these days? I'm old, so I say them the wrong way, and I'm sorry if that's wrong. But so mark making is fun to me. Like, it's relaxing. Like, this is even with my fingers in here. Like, that's really fun. But I was saying something about but I still need it to have a little bit of a continuity to it. Like, it's difficult. And see, here's the 2 pages sticking together, because even though I put paper in here, I need to seal this, because this was the acrylic next to each other. So that's so abstract, and I'm just not sure I'm comfortable. Other people, there's things I like about them, but I'm not sure that's my cup of tea. And so I'm trying to find my voice. So these were really fun to do. And I love the texture, like the way I must be a little bit tactile. Well, I am a little bit tactile. So the way they feels great. And actually this was the masking fluid, and I actually really did enjoy making this. This was actually supposed to be like a true watercolor with just a little bit of pen. And so the white spaces on this tree were from the masking fluid. And I like this, but it's a little too, like, so many people make the same art. Like, it's not special. And this isn't finished, but all I want to do in here is go in and put brighter colors. Oh, I have another one. Oh yeah, I haven't finished that one, but I probably am finished. I don't know if I'll go back. But the goal is to fill up these things. Eventually I'll be doing art journal tours, and I want to do the art journal tours on here because I'm going to hang around on YouTube for a long time. And I actually am trying to do the thing where you learn by doing, and you do 10,000 of them. And then you get to see your beginning days. I'm like, I'm having fun. So like I said, I've been a doodler for my whole life, but this is on another level. I'm trying to increase my exposure to my own skill. Okay. So I'm now peeling underneath the dried acrylic, and okay, that is neat. Okay, so what happened is when I did the watercolor pencil, I did it so rough it broke through the masking fluid, and so there's little blue hashies in there, which I kind of like. But then look at how crisp that is on the edge. Ooh, I love that contrast right there. That's what I'm after. That makes me happy. Okay, so I'm gonna do. I gotta think about this. I still want to take. I still think my black pens will make this better. And so let's see. So do we dare? Do we dare? We might be ruining it. So what do I mean by black pens? I mean Micron. Everybody knows these, right? These are like the actual ones that are at the craft store all the time. So I'm going to go in with a decent thickness because I don't want to do very many lines and I want them to count. So we're going to make some stamens and just a little bit to define the center of this little guy. And if it goes to, I can always add a color over the top, like a brighter, oh, this one is, woo, can you guys see what I'm doing? It's not very much. I don't want a ton because these are not black type of flowers, right? You don't want, and if I outline too harshly, then it becomes like a realist, and I'm just not that. So I don't know. That's starting to make me nervous. I'm gonna getting out. We're gonna get a little dark on these beads to make them pop a little bit. I do like to do for relaxing. I find Zen tangles. Do you know what Zen tangles are? And I like 3D doodling. Like I said, I'm a journaler first, and so I'm gonna make my little butterfly a real butterfly. It's a butterfly. And I want to make these guys pop up a little bit. Zen tangles they're almost like this. That's like a mandala. You would call that a mandala. But when you do Zen tangles, they're like repetitive patterns that make a 3D effect. You can actually go on Instagram and just type in the hashtag or do Zen tangle and look under the tags. And they'll teach you how to make them. And they're like a repetitious mark making of some sort, but the end result is 3-dimensional. And I think that's actually really, really fun to do. And I did them for a long time, like kind of almost strictly solely because it kind of hits it's like a repetitious thing. But there's so many people that would do it to such a more perfectionist degree. I would do it at a very low level of perfection. So I've already professed how patient I am, but I'm okay with that. Like I put my patient work into the book stuff and the efforts there. And I'm okay with that change up. Okay, I'm trying to not lose my flower shapes with my pen here. Yeah. Okay, so, okay. I kind of added a little dimension there. Yeah, meditative. There's the perfect, that's actually what I think they're for. That's why they're called Zen tangles. Somebody was genius when they named it. So I might walk away from this one. I feel like I want to put some contrast, like to make it more pop, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to regret it. It's going to go. Okay, so we're going to do this here. A little bit more in here. And I don't know what I was making up here. I can't remember my original. So I'm like feeling like it needs a little, like something to make it look like it's actually a flower. Something I was doing on purpose. So I'm pulling this down. Okay, so you guys see me just fake that whole flower shape out of nothing. All right, hopefully it has a feel. Does that have a feel? That's like mark making at its best, right? Yeah, we're getting in there. Getting in the weeds a little bit here. Those little ruffles are hard to make without adding color. Okay. What do you think? Did I get that to be a little bit crispier? Crispier edges? Okay. I think I need to be done. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Let's do a little tiny of that same thing on here. See these flowers have an actual stamen and a thingy in them, like stamen and what do they call those? Stamen and what do they call these little guys? I'm the one who's the gardener, so I should be telling you, but who cares, right? Who cares for the... So we're gonna get in there and give you a little bit of that detail, just a little bit of fun. Yep. Let's get those ruffles going on. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for that. Like, I don't actually, so I have to remember. So here's some lessons I'm going to say out loud, and I'm telling you, but I'm really saying them to myself because that's the point. I know that as a writer, the creative process always creates the imposter syndrome. You always feel like someone else can somehow figure this thing out better than you, and someone else has the better skills and opportunity and, you know, intuition with their talent, whatever you want to say. And so it's actually very natural. But I also know that if I look at this and say, oh, I don't really like that. It's not very, if I point this into you and I say, here's this thing I painted, it's not very good, but, and then you go on, then you're actually reinforcing the critic in your head. And as a novelist, when you write and you create, you're creating from a place of freedom and you're moving into that. But if you go into edit mode, the editing, if you criticize yourself in the editing, it will shut you down so fast. Like both, they don't play well together. The creative and the editing don't play well together. And so I'm trying to do that here. I don't want to be editing my work while I'm creating. I want to make a clear line. I am allowed to learn from my art. I'm allowed to be objective and figure out what it is that I like about it, what I don't like, what I like later on that I didn't like at the time. Like that happens too. But in the process, while I'm creating, I don't want to say, ooh, I don't like this. This isn't very good. Because I could say that about certain parts of it. I'm like, not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. But right now, that's not the voice I want to be playing in my head. And if you reinforce the negative criticism, then that's how you cultivate the environment that creative block comes from, is cultivating that negative voice in your head, which everyone has it and we're supposed to have it. That's how we get to be critical thinkers and be able to improve. Okay, so I tried to add some highlights. It's getting a little muddy in there, and so I'm gonna have to be bail on this one too pretty quick. It's abstract. It's actually kind of nice though. I kind of like it. I definitely like the little tiny hints of like a red orange that I put in there. And I definitely like the weird scribbles of the green that I was showing with the pen and the watercolor pencil. That's made it good. I'm waiting for this one to dry a little bit more. I want to pop the pearls. Let's pop some pearls. Let's get this necklace to dance a little bit. And so the reason I like the pearls is because it's the 3-dimensional, right? They look round and they look like you have to get that 3-dimension effect. I think I need to put some pink in one spot in here because it looks like a pearl when it's supposed to be a space between the pearls. And this is helping bring depth to my plate. I think I should have a shadow down here somewhere that I don't have. And we're gonna go. I'm gonna make this seed packet an actual seed packet over here. said daisy on it, so I spelled AZ. Not daisy, just AZ. Okay. Making these pop, make some of my values pop a little bit. All right, can you see it? Is it starting to come? I think that middle piece right there needs to be the purpley pink color that I made. Right here. This needs to be plate. It needs to be plate and not pearl. Interesting, right? Interesting. It's getting a little more, that has a little bit more depth in there. Little bit. So now if I want to, I could come in with this white, pick a tiny one, and I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna make a shiny dot on each of my pearls. Do I wanna add it? Oh, I could actually add it to my, so I try not to muddy this up because the whole point of this is to get that pure white. So we're trying to make the little shine happen, you know, the round shine. Oops, I made that one not round anymore. Oopsie daisy. All right. I'm starting to get a little sleepy, so that means that the peace factor is happening. We're getting our Zen buzz from the creative process, so that is what we want. Well, you guys are sure been fun. I'm so impressed that you're hanging with me still after all this. Okay, so let's get some highlights. We'll get a little bit more punchy highlights with this. This is very fun. This is my thing. I definitely like to make them pop. So we'll get hard edge here, hard circle edge here. Okay. Pearls. We got some pop on the pearls right there. See? A little white hit. I could probably do it on the ruffles in here, like get some of them to pop up a little bit. I'm looking, just, you guys might not be able to see me, but I put that light, I have a, I don't really want to move you guys. I have an angled light up there, so I could actually have a harsh light almost, so that I could see where that would come into play. And it's definitely helping here. See, and that makes the white of these little flowers, this one, come up too, which I like that. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. There's a little confusion on what my eye wants to do in that, but we're just gonna let it, we're gonna let him have it. We're gonna let it have it. Do I get any white on that little guy? A little bit of lines here. Yeah, I'm really liking it. They're kind of popping. I still need to hit this one with some dark. I'm just double checking here. They definitely helped me out tonight. I can feel that. Empty my brush on that white spot, so that's easy. Okay. Did I add them? I'm not going to add them all over, but I'm going to add them to the beads on this one. See this leaf? I know I could probably do better at leaves, but leaves is one of those things where, for me, if I do them loosely and with no real rhyme or reason, where they don't quite look exactly the way they're supposed to, then they look better than if I like take my time and be a little bit more of a realist about them. Like it's tricky because I'm like, because sometimes the green is not right. Sometimes I feel like I could probably do I'm not yet ready to do art studies yet where you do the same thing over and over again because that sounds boring to me, to be honest. I just would rather do all the weird stuff all at the same time. But I think that I could probably practice incorporating more leaf uh, leaf action because I think there's so much of I end up going back and forth between the people's faces and the organic like scenery and settings, the plant life, and also the flowers. I'm definitely a garden girl, so um, we're gonna do that there too. It's not quite what I want, but we'll hit that with the black too, I think. Okay, actually I'm gonna hit that with this little watercolor green. This is that seed head thing. Okay, that's gonna take a long time to dry. So I'm probably gonna do that highlight after I'm gonna get off of here, I think. I'm gonna let you guys have your night. Okay, so that's my outcome. Oh, I needed to do a little bit of black detail on one more to hold it true. And then I'm gonna do the last detail on that little down hanging flower after it dries. And I'm gonna leave it to sit to dry because it's so wet. So this one definitely needs the same piece. Oh, see, I got that gummied up already. I really like these on there, but I'm not nice to them. You're supposed to be patient and wait for them to dry. Yeah, see, this isn't gonna. And then you need a piece of scratch paper to actually wake it up again. But who has scratch paper? I got all this paper here and come on. Wake up, pen. I just did that to you. Okay. This one doesn't want to wake up on my hand, so we'll have to pick a different one. Let's go for a big fat one. This is a big fat one, so this will make a let's make some. I don't want to hit every petal because then it will just look like I'm trying to do realism, right? Because that is not what we're doing here. I don't know if I lost my little, what are they called? These paper whites in here. They're supposed to be in here somewhere, but I didn't obviously hit them very well. So, because there's no white ones. They're supposed to be white. Okay. All right. Add in some depth with these dark. So this is actually where your eye is going to want to go because it's the white with the black right next to it. So, okay. That popped it a little bit, right? What do you think? Okay. I am feeling like one of the things I really like doing is when my worlds collide, when my creative world and my outdoor world, my garden world, and the pearls. These are not real by any means, which if you want to know how to tell real pearls from fake ones, you actually have to put your teeth on them. These will be smooth and easy, and the real pearls will be like sandpaper. That's a little trick. So, but look at that. It's so pretty. Oh, thank you for that. Well, I hope to see you around. I did a video on how to make a bouquet and arrangement, and I'm gonna have a few of those kind of like a little bit tutorial on something random. Like I'm gonna do one. Oh, for a second there. Do I have paint on my face? Oh, I'm notorious. I'm itching my face and touching everything. I came in from gardening the other day and I had a big all over my face. My husband was laughing at me. But I'm going to, I want to do a vloggy style too, which is just going to be my nonsense. And this is going to be like this, where all of my worlds collide. But I would like to be food for for just having an upper in your life. Good news, gentle, a bit of creative and inflow. Like hopefully you got inspired and you want to get your own stuff out. And that's like one of my things. Like if you have art supplies and they're precious, and they are, and a little spendy, let's use them. Let's make art. And so if you tag me in something of yours, or I don't know how to make it so I can see who you are out there. That would be wonderful. So I'm going to get off, and I hope that you had a taste of spring and a little bit of beauty and a lot of fun. This is going to be fun, and eventually I'll be doing these. I'm going to fill these up. That's my goal, to fill them up and then to do the tours, because I think those are fun, and then to do them so many times that you guys will say, oh, you're getting so much better than you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Let's do that. And like I said, I'm planning on living to be an old lady. And the lady that I was watching that was 92, she was locked down. She's like, I didn't have any trouble being locked in my own space. She goes, I got plenty of things to do. And I think my life is interesting. So be interesting. Like, that lady was remarkable. And I don't think that stuff comes easily. So thank you for following, or for doing this. And, yes, I will. I don't ever give more than about an hour's notice, because I never know when I'm going to do that. So my lives will literally be spontaneous, but then the replays will be there. I have my other two are a little obnoxious, because one, I didn't know how to turn the camera this way, because you have to start these videos in the direction that you want it to be. So it's up and down. And then the other one is, I didn't have my other one set up over here, so I kept missing comments. So I never could go, so I was terribly painful to watch. But the art is fun, and they're colorful. Like, sometimes I turn them on, other people's on, and I like turn the sound off and just let my TV be filled with somebody's work. And it's so impressive, whether it's videography or whatever. And so, I don't know, just kind of want to play around with that and keep going. Begin doesn't mean to go, and it's life-giving. So thank you for your time. I hope you have a blessed night. Sleep well if you guys are really up late, because I am, and not too late over here in Oregon. But have a good night. I'm gonna say goodbye until next time. Oh, how do I even get off this thing? I have to forget how.